See the problems here. For hydrogen-like sample, binding energy of third excited stage, binding energy, nothing but energy. Binding energy of third excited stage, is 3.4 electron volts. Find the ionization energy. Find the ionization energy and second excitation energy of the sample. Find binding energy and second excitation energy of the sample. So this is the problem. So here, this is based on your energy terms. So what is that? Here the word third excited stage. That means n is equal to 4. N is equal to 4, third excited stage. For that, binding energy is given to you. So binding energy is equal to minus 13.6 into Z square by N square electron volts. Z square by N square electron volts. This binding energy is given as, how much is the value? Electron volts 3.4. 3.4 is equal to minus 13.6 into Z square by N is 4 square. From this, Z after final calculation, Z is equal to, by taking the condition, so binding energy, which is nothing but minus 90, or sometimes it may be taken as positive also. So this may be positive also. Z is equal to 2 after final calculation. This is after simplification. That means the atomic number of that element is 2. By using this Z value, second excitation energy, therefore ionization energy is equal to plus 13.6 into Z square by N square, and already I wrote a formula for this. That is equal to 13.6 into Z is equal to 2 square minus N, second excited stage, N is equal to 3, 9. N is equal to 3, that is equal to 9. Okay. So ionization energy, sorry. So ionization energy, N is equal to 1 orbital. So from first orbit, see here, from first orbit, electron is going to infinity state. It is 1. That is equal to, how much is the value? 54.4 electron volts. It is ionization energy. What is ionization energy? That is energy required to remove electron from the first orbit to the infinity orbital. That is why N should be 1. So ionization energy, that is equal to it. So next, second excitation energy of the sample. Second excitation energy of the sample, that is energy. Second excitation energy, that is delta E, which is equal to from first orbit to third orbit, second excitation. So electron now is in first orbit, so converted into second, third orbit. It is the third orbit, that is N is equal to 3. So that is equal to 13.6 into Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, and Rydberg's equation. That is 13.6 into Z is equal to 2 square into 1 by N1 square. That is 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 3 square. 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 3 square. So finally we will get, it is 2. Finally we will get 15.52 electron volts. 15.52 electron volts. So this is the way to calculate. By using this binding energy, first of all, I calculate Z value. By using that Z value, you want to calculate ionization energy and second excitation energy. Second excitation energy means electron is jumping from first orbit to third orbit. This is the second excitation energy. So that means N1 is equal to 1, N2 is equal to 3. Substituting those values here, so that gives second excitation energy value. Okay, so this is important way. Important. Next one. Second problem, ionization energy of a hydrogen-like sample is 122.4 electron volts. 1.3.4 electron volts. Full stop. Find one binding energy of second excited state. Binding energy of second excited state. Second one, potential energy, kinetic energy. Potential energy and kinetic energy of electron in third excited state. Of electron in third excited state. So ionization energy is given to you. Now find out the binding energy and potential energy and kinetic energy. How to calculate? Just like by using ionization energy in previous case, here binding energy. Sorry, here I am going to use ionization energy. So from that, find out the Z value. After that, use this binding energy and kinetic energy. So the solution for this one is ionization energy is equal to 13.6 into Z square by N square electron volt. N is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 for this case. So whatever it may be, that means ionization energy is equal to, it is just Z square, no N square, there is just Z square, which is equal to 13.6 into Z square is equal to, how much is the value? 122.4 electron volts. 122.4 electron volts. So therefore, this is equal to, that implies Z is equal to 3. Z is equal to 3. That means its atomic number Z is equal to 3. Now, binding energy. So, binding energy of second excited state. Excited state, nothing but N is equal to 3. Binding energy is calculated with the help of binding energy BE is equal to minus 13.6 into N square by, sorry, Z square by N square. Z square by N square. Apply it. That is equal to minus 13.6 into Z square. Z is equal to 3. 3 square by N, second excited state, third square N, which is equal to minus 13.6 electron volts. Minus 13.6 electron volts. That is binding energy. It is the first question. First question, minus 13.6. Okay. B is positive. Yes, positive. Next, second one. Potential energy and kinetic energy. First of all, I am going to calculate total energy. That total energy is converted into potential energy and kinetic energy. So now I am going to calculate total energy. What is the formula to calculate total energy? Total energy is equal to minus, so it may be plus, please take it as plus, no doubt, minus 13.6 into minus 13.6 into Z square by N square is the total energy in electron volts. And from that, total energy is equal to, for which it is a third excited state. And third excited state means N is equal to 4. So that is equal to minus 13.6 into Z for this one is 3 square by, it is the fourth orbit 4 square. And so finally we will get total energy is equal to minus 7.65 electron volts. And total energy is equal to minus 7.65 electron volts. Now convert this total energy into electrical energy, kinetic energy and potential energy. We know, but we know, so I think already day before yesterday, sorry, yesterday we derived that one. That is day before yesterday. That is total energy is equal to 1 by 2 potential energy. That is the potential energy is equal to 2 into total energy. That is equal to 2 into minus 7.65 energy, which is equal to minus 15.3 electron volts. It is next. Kinetic energy is equal to minus total energy. That is equal to minus total energy is 7.65 minus of, that is equal to plus 7.65 electron volts is the kinetic energy. Plus 7.65 is the kinetic energy. So by using this way, we are going to calculate. So binding energy, total energy, by using total energy, kinetic, potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy and kinetic energy. These are very, very, very important models. Very, very important models. Next one. Find the wavelength of photon. Third one. Find the wavelength of photon emitted when an electron makes transition from first excited state to ground state in hydrogen. So try to solve yourself. Take your pen and paper. Take your pen and paper. Ground state in hydrogen atom. So by using the formula, here is the solution. Mu bar is equal to 1 by lambda is equal to RZ square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. You want to calculate lambda. Wavelength symbol is lambda. So this is the lambda I want to calculate it. Therefore, that implies 1 by lambda is equal to RZ square, R into Z square, hydrogen atom. It is hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1. Z square into 1 by, so emitted from electron, transition from first excited state. First excited state is equal to N is equal to 2 and ground state N is equal to 1 and this is N1, this is N2. Lower energy is N1, higher energy is N2. So it is 1 square minus 1 by 2 square. Okay, that is equal to R into 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. That is equal to R into 3 by 4. 3 by 4. That is equal to, therefore, lambda is equal to 4 by 3 R. Lambda is equal to 4 by 3 R. So, but 1 by R is equal to 912 angstroms, and please be mind 1 by R is equal to 912 angstroms. Therefore, lambda is equal to 4 by 3 into 1 by R. 1 by R is equal to 912, and that is equal to altogether finally we get 1216 angstroms. 1216 angstroms. Okay, so this is the way to calculate wavelength. So here you want to calculate wavelength, or sometimes this is wave number. So wavelength or wave number or frequency. If you calculate wave number, so calculate frequency. Nu is equal to C by lambda. That is equal to C into nu bar. So whatever you want, it should be calculated. Okay, here this is the wavelength calculation. 1216 angstroms. 1216 angstroms. This is one of the ways, and most important model. This one is most important model. Next one. Wave number of a spectral line of a spectral line for a given transition is x centimeter inverse. Is x centimeter inverse for He plus. For He plus, then its value for BE plus 3 for the same transition is dash. Then its value for the same transition is dash centimeter. Dash centimeter. So try it. Try it. Correct. Correct. Good. Correct. Now solution. We know, just like in previous problem, nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda. Here wave number nothing but nu bar. Wave number nu bar. Nu bar is equal to R z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Okay. Here nu1 z1 square. Here nu2 bar is equal to R z2 square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Here same transition means these two are same ended. By end cancelled. Same transition for same transition. R and R cancelled. So nu1 bar by nu2 bar is equal to z1 square by z2 square. So that implies for first one it is x by nu2 bar is equal to first element is He, helium, that is 2 square by beryllium. Okay, this is beryllium. Z is equal to hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium 4 and here Z is equal to 2. So 4 square. So 4 by 16, so that is equal to 1 by 4. Therefore, nu2 bar is equal to 4x centimeter inverse. 4x centimeter inverse. Important one. Important one. Next one. The ionization energy of hydrogen, like fifth one, right? The ionization energy of hydrogen like Bohr atom is hydrogen like Bohr atom is 4 Rydberg. 4 Rydberg. What is the radius of? What is the radius of? What is the radius of the first orbit of this atom? The first orbit of this atom. This atom given Bohr radius of hydrogen. Bohr radius of hydrogen, nothing but R naught is equal to 5 into 10 power 11, 5 into 10 power minus 11 meters, and 1 Rydberg is equal to 2.2 into 10 power minus 18 joules. 2.8 into 10 power 2.2 into 10 power minus 18 joules. So those are the values given to you. So find out the radius of first orbit. R1. You want to calculate R1 only. You want to calculate R1, first orbit. R1. We know our radius of nth orbit is equal to R0 into n square by z. This is the formula we know, and radius of nth orbit is equal to R0 is already given to you. You want to calculate Rn only. Rn. Now we don't have the z value. If you know the z value, so apply this formula. Given R0 already given to you, n first orbit 1. So if you know the z value, you should calculate radius of nth orbit. Now how to calculate radius of that is z value? By using this Rydberg value. So already ionization energy is given to you. So we know ionization energy is equal to plus 13.6 into z square by n square. Z square by n square. It is in electron volts, but it is in joules. But that is in joules. In joules, the value is, that is 21.8 into 10 power minus 19 into z square by n square joules. Joule per atom. So now it is ionization energy. Use this formula because it is in joules. Here also it is in joules. Now, ionization energy is given as 4 Rydberg. That is 4 R Rydberg and 4 R. 1 R is equal to this much and 1 Rydberg is equal to. Therefore, ionization energy is equal to 4 Rydberg, which is equal to 4 into 2.2 into 10 power minus 18 is equal to ionization energy. Don't take n value and it is just z square only. Don't use z n value into 2.21.8 into 10 power minus 19 into z square. So from that z is equal to, how much is the z value? Z is equal to 2. After calculation this one, so the z is equal to 200. So that is, this is the value and these two are equal. This 4R is equal to this much. So that ionization energy is given to you this one. So Z is equal to 2. Substitute this Z value here. Therefore, radius of first orbit is equal to R naught into N square. N and 1 square by Z is equal to 200. That is equal to R naught value 5 into 10 power minus 11 into 1 by 2. That is equal to 2.5 into 10 power minus 11 meters. 2.5 into 10 power minus 11 meters. So this is the way to calculate it. So it is 4 Rydberg. Already 1 Rydberg is given to you in joules. Convert that value. That's enough. Okay. This is important one. So already one time asked the question in your previous exams. Very, very important. So is this clear? 0.529 actually, but the given value is this one. We know that, but actually given this one. So that's why I use this one. The 0.529 is in angstroms, but this is in meters conversion. It is in meters. Yes, I will keep, no doubt. Every day I send them a note. Am I correct? Did you save that material? Did you save that material? So that is very, very important. Okay. Okay. Next one. The kinetic energy of an electron. Sixth one. The kinetic energy of an electron in the second Bohr orbit second Bohr orbit of an hydrogen atom is dash. Of a hydrogen atom is dash. Yes, clear. A naught is equal to Bohr's radius. A naught is equal to Bohr's radius. Now I am going to give some options to you. Option 1, h square by 4 pi m A naught square. Option 2, h square by 16 pi square m A naught square. Option 3, h square by 32 pi square m A naught square. Option 4, h square by 64 pi square m A naught square. Which is the correct option? The kinetic energy. Don't get lottery. Don't use your lottery. Try to solve. You want to calculate kinetic energy. We know kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Find out that v value. So from where the value is used, mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. That's why from that calculate v value, substitute that v value here, half mv square. So derive the formula. Try yourself. I am going to take later. No doubt, I will derive. But do yourself. Do yourself. Which will get? Which one we will get? I am waiting for you, my dear boys. Solve yourself. Easy and easy and that's why I pass it to you. From my side, it is clear. From my side, it is clear. Option 3. Yes, there is correct. See here. Solution. We know Ke is equal to half mv square. But MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. That is Bohr's quantum condition. That is Bohr's quantum condition. MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. From this, V is equal to NH by 2 pi MR. 2 pi MR. That is radius of nth orbit. Radius of nth orbit. Okay, that implies, but radius of nth orbit is equal to R is equal to R naught into N square by Z. R is equal to R naught into N square by Z. Instead of R naught, this R naught value is given as E naught. Substitute that value. Therefore, Rn is equal to A naught into N square by Z. N square by Z. It is for hydrogen atom. Z is equal to 1. It is for hydrogen atom. Z is equal to 1. Therefore, radius of nth orbit is equal to A naught into N square. Here, Z is equal to 1. Substitute that value. Therefore, V is equal to NH by 2 pi M A naught N square. N cancelled. N cancelled. Therefore, V square is equal to H square by 4 pi square M square A naught square En square. A naught square N square. Substitute that value here. See here, second orbital and N is equal to 2. Put N is equal to 2 there. Therefore, H square by 4 into 4, 16. 16 pi square M square A naught square. A naught square. Put N is equal to 2 here. That is the final value. Substitute that value here. Therefore, Ke is equal to half mv square. That is H square by 16 pi square M square A naught square. M cancelled. Therefore, Ke is equal to H square by 16 to 32 pi square M A naught square. Pi square M A naught square. Now the answer is option 3. Option 3 is the correct one. So this is the correct one. Easy or difficult? Easy indeed. Please be mine. Please be mine. That's enough to you. Okay. So C1. So he want to calculate kinetic energy. But we know MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. It is nothing but Bohr's quantum condition. It is nothing but Bohr's quantum condition. Okay. What is quantization? What is the meaning of quantization after completion of this topic? What is quantization? Fixing of a certain value to a multiple of that value. Fixing of certain property to a multiple of fixed value. So multiplication. So one times, 2 times, 3 times. That is called as a quantization. Here MVR is quantization. H by 2 pi. Fixed to a far value, that is H by 2 pi. This H by 2 pi sometimes called as H cross. Both are. Already I told you. Okay, these are the different model problems. Okay, so this is the completion of problematic part here. Now I am going to take one more class, that is one more topic. So that is de Broglie's wave theory. De Broglie's wave theory. See here. Okay, see my dear boy. Now our topic is de Broglie's wave concept. De Broglie's wave concept and wave concept. In clear, it is simply taken as dual behavior of matter. Dual behavior of matter. Dual behavior of matter. It is the concept of matter waves. It is the concept of matter waves. See here. What is this theory? Before going to take this one, already we completed that electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is propagated in the form of wave. It has both particle nature and wave nature. So particle nature of light is explained on the basis of photoelectric effect. How photoelectric effect express particle nature? A particle collides on metal surface, another particle is coming out, that is electron. That means the light is incident on metal surface, electron is ejected. So that means light here acts as particle. A particle collides another particle, that means light is, that is particle is coming out. So particle nature of that electron is clearly explained by this. Particle nature of electron is particle nature of light is clearly explained by that is photoelectric effect. Now light has wave nature also, that is propagated in the form of wave. That means light has both particle nature and wave nature. That is electromagnetic radiation. Just like electromagnetic radiation, charged particles, when those charged particles are in movement, a charged particle like electron, proton, which are in movement, these charged particles also propagated, also moved in the form of wave, just like light. No doubt, these particles, the electrons, protons are nothing but particles. That means these have particle nature and propagated in the form of wave. That means it has both wave nature. That means electron has both particle nature and wave nature. Both particle nature and wave nature. That means two natures are available for this electron. So wave nature and particle nature. That is why dual nature is available. So light has dual nature, no doubt. Just like light, these charged particles which are in movement also have dual nature. That dual nature of matter, electron, proton, these are nothing but coming from matter. So this dual nature is also exists for matter, and that's why these waves are considered as matter waves. The concept is considered as matter waves. This theory is clearly explained by de Broglie. De Broglie. So from de Broglie's concept, our atomic structure is taken as a modern atomic structure. Up to Bohr's theory, old atomic structure concept. Up to Bohr's quantum theory, Bohr's atomic model, that is old concept. Next, de Broglie's theory. Next coming theory is Heisenberg's theory. After that, Schrodinger's theory. So all these theories are modern approach of atomic structure. Modern approach of atomic structure. So how these are explained? So once again, see here. So I'm going to give a description to you. If possible, take a piece of paper just like this paper. Just like this, please take a piece of paper from your side. From your side. So take a piece of paper here. Okay, see here. This is another particle. It is a matter, a pen cap. See, my dear boys, see clearly. See clearly. Just like take your pen paper also, pen cap also. Take your pen paper, pen cap. Just throw this pen cap in space. Try yourself. Now I'm going to throw this pen cap. I thrown that. Please throw that. Please throw that yourself. See observation. What you are observed there. That is that part, that pen cap, just moving like a parabola. Am I correct? So see here. See here. This is the pen cap. So I throw this pen cap. It is moved like a parabola. Correct or wrong? Do yourself. Just because it is not possible to see here. So it is online. That's why try yourself. So it is just like a parabola. It moves just like a parabola. Now, take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper. As much as possible, smaller one. As much as small. Very, very small paper. Now, when compared to your pen cap, the mass of this particle is more or less a small piece of paper. The mass of this piece of paper is more or less than that of this cap. Yes, no doubt, less one. So this has more mass thrown like this. So it moved like a parabola without any, there is disturbance. Now, throw this paper. Throw this paper. Now I'm going to throw this paper. See here. Just like throwing. So do yourself. That's it. What do you observe there? That means I observe that is this is a piece of paper. I throw this because of its lightest weight, which is in moment, because of its lightest weight, it is fall down into the ground like this. Am I correct or wrong? Just like fell down on the ground. Correct or wrong? Yes. So do yourself, my dear boys, please do yourself, because this is the concept. This is the definition here. I am going to describe this one. Okay, so see here. So here mass is less, here mass is more. More mass particle which is in moment, it has certain velocity. It is just like a parabola. But small sized mass, that is very mass, very negligible mass. Sometimes. So if this particle is in moment, it is just like this. What is this? Is this a wave or not? It seems to be a wave or not? Is this a wave or not? Yes, it is a wave. That means when small sized particle having very, very minute size and having very small, less mass, when it is in moment, it has wave nature. It has wave nature. Is that paper has mass or not? Is that piece of paper has mass or not? Anything having mass is nothing but a particle. Paper is nothing but a particle. If the particle is in moment, having very, very small size mass, very negligible mass, that has wave nature. That means the particle which is in moment, small sized particle which is in moment, that moment is always in a wave format. That moment is always in wave format. That means, so a piece of paper gives this much disturbance, wave nature. So when compared to paper, what about that electron? Is it small size or more size? Small, less size or more size when compared to that paper, the electron mass? Tell me, my dear boys. When compared to electron, when compared to piece of paper, electron has less mass or more mass. I think it is negligible when compared to that small piece. If that electron which is in moment, that has more wave nature. As the size of the particle decreases, as mass of the particle decreases, wave property increases. Am I correct? Because when compared to pen cap has no wave properties. But piece of paper has wave properties. That means mass decreases, wave nature increases. When compared to paper and electron has more wave nature. If it is in moment. When it is in moment. So is electron has mass or not? Yes, we calculated that 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. It has certain mass. The species having certain mass is called as particle. So it is in moment. So that moment has wave nature. That means electron has both particle nature and as well as wave nature. That was clearly explained by this theory. What is that? De Broglie's wave theory. De Broglie's wave. Finally, we concluded that very small sized particles having very least mass, which are in moment, having wave properties. That means if it has wave, that has wave properties. That is wavelength, wave number, frequency, that is everything wave properties are already we told to it. So all those are applicable here. Okay. So the entire concept of, as I described here, is clearly explained by de Broglie. So particles have both, that is smallest sized materials have both the particle nature as well as wave nature. So that means they have dual nature. That dual nature is applicable for matter. Particle is nothing but a matter. So that is why it is called as a dual nature of matter. Dual nature of matter. So not it is in vacuum, my dear boys, which is in space. So it has certain conditions. So it is other than vacuum. Okay. See here. Is the concept clear or not? Is the concept clear or not? Now I am going to discuss the statement for this de Broglie's theory. See here. What is the statement for this de Broglie's theory? Electron-like smallest particles smallest particles which are in movement that means having velocity which are in movement have wave nature also. Wave nature. That means this electron has both particle nature and wave nature. Not only electron, proton, neutron, alpha particles, smallest particles. That means this concept is applicable only for the smallest particles, not for pen, not for you, not for me, not for lorry, as cricket ball or tennis ball, whatever it may be. So for these, this concept is not applicable. For this, this concept is not applicable. This concept is only applicable for electron-like smallest microscopic bodies. As the size of the particle decreases, so wave properties increases. Okay, see here. It has both particle nature and wave nature. That means they have dual nature. So that means matter has dual nature. Okay, so that's why the concept is called as matter waves. So matter has wave nature. That is, those waves are called as matter waves. Okay. So how to explain this concept? So de Broglie explain this concept mathematically. So particle nature of light or particle is explained by using the formula E is equal to hc by lambda. E is equal to hc by lambda. Now I am going to calculate energy of that particle. E is equal to hc by lambda. It is Planck's quantum theory. Planck's quantum theory. Based on Planck's quantum theory, E is equal to hc by lambda. See here. So sorry, just a minute. So lambda is mean nothing but wavelength. So wave concept is explained on the basis of Planck's quantum theory. Wave concept of electron is explained on the basis of Planck's quantum theory. Already we know that E is equal to mc squared. It is Einstein's mass energy relation. E is equal to mc square. So mass of the m is the mass of the particle, E is the energy of the particle having certain mass. So that's why E is mc square. It is for particle nature. That means this is the energy of electron. This is also energy of the electron. If electron is considered like this, this is E is equal to mc square. If electron is a particle, if electron has wave nature, this is the energy. That means this energy and this energy must be equivalent. These two energies must be equivalent. Now equate these two energies. Therefore, see here, mc square is equal to hc by lambda. Mc square is equal to hc by lambda. So C gets cancelled. That implies I am going to try. So wavelength lambda is equal to h by mc. Wavelength lambda is equal to h by mc. It is an equation having both particle nature and wave nature. So see here. This lambda is nothing but wavelength ending. Wavelength. That means for wave ending. So wave properties explains. If wavelength is there, wave properties explains ending. Next, this m is nothing but mass of particle ending. So anyone having mass that has particle nature ending. That means this equation gives wave nature and particle nature of electron-like smallest particle cell. This equation is called as de Broglie's wave equation, wave particle equation. So this is lambda is equal to h by mc. Here c is the velocity of light. Now this c is replaced with v because so light velocity is now replaced with velocity of the particle. Therefore, lambda is equal to h by mv. Lambda is equal to h by mv. That equation is called as de Broglie's wave equation. It has both particle nature and also wave nature. Already we know that mass into velocity is equal to momentum. Mass into velocity is equal to momentum. Momentum is indicated with the letter small p. So that's why mass into velocity is equal to p. Now this equation is rewritten as lambda is equal to h by p. Lambda is equal to h by p. So this is momentum and this is wavelength with respect to momentum. There is wavelength with respect to velocity and mass. So wherever momentum is there. Momentum is the property of particle. Momentum is the property of particle having certain mass which is in moment. That means the particle which is in moment has momentum because mass is multiplied with velocity, that is momentum. So which is in moment, which is in movement. So having certain momentum, that momentum is inversely proportional to wavelength. Therefore here lambda is inversely proportional to p. More is the momentum, less is the wavelength. So when momentum is more, if mass is more, momentum is more. Mass is more, momentum is more. Momentum is more, wavelength is less. Wave properties are less. That is why pen cap has no wave properties, but paper has a little wave properties. Electron has more wave properties, which is in moment. So is this clear? So finally, electron-like smallest particles which are in moment, having momentum and also wave properties. Therefore, that momentum and wave are related as lambda is equal to h by p. Lambda is equal to h by p. This equation is called as de Broglie's wave equation. De Broglie's wave equation. Okay. So by using this equation, I am going to derive some relations. So up to now, clear or not? Finally, electron has particle nature or wave nature or both? Electron has particle nature or wave nature or both? Which is in moment? Both. What about cricket ball? It has particle nature or wave nature or both? For cricket ball. For cricket ball, having particle nature or wave nature or both? Cricket ball has only particle nature. So wave properties are applicable only for minute microscopic bodies. Microscopic bodies. For electrons, protons, neutrons, next alpha particles. Like that, wave properties are applicable. They are particles, no doubt, also having wave nature. They have both wave nature and particle nature, which when they are in movement. Okay, so this is photon. Photon is also a particle. Particle having wave nature. Photon is nothing but light. Light has dual nature. Light has dual nature. Okay, see here. Now, de Broglie's wave theory. Wave particle equation. That is lambda is equal to h by mv, which is equal to lambda is equal to h by pn. Lambda is equal to h by p or lambda is equal to h by mv. Here m is the mass of particle, v is the velocity of particle, p is the mass into velocity, which is nothing but momentum of the particle. Momentum of the particle. So these are the terms. Now wavelength. Lambda is equal to wavelength of matter wave. Wavelength of matter wave. So these are the terms here. Now, from this, already I concluded that lambda is inversely proportional to P. Sorry, Pn. Lambda is inversely proportional to P. That is momentum. Okay. Now I am going to calculate this term in terms of kinetic energy, something else. Here, we know lambda is equal to h by omega. Now I am going to write this equation in terms of kinetic energies. So we know Ke is equal to half mv square. Ke is equal to half mv square. Okay. From this, v square is equal to 2 Ke by m. Am I correct? V square is equal to 2 Ke by m. 2 Ke by m. Now, m square v square is equal to, multiply this both sides, m square. That is 2m Ken. 2m Ken. Okay. So this is m square v square. That implies m into v is equal to root 2m Ken. M into v is equal to root 2m Ken. Substitute this mv value here. Therefore, lambda is equal to h by root 2m Ke, kinetic energy. It is the most important formula in it. When kinetic energy of the particle is given to you, having certain mass m, that wavelength is calculated by using the formula lambda equal to h by under root 2m Ke. But we know Ke is equal to Q into V. V is the potential difference, and capital V. V is the potential difference, not voltage. That is the velocity. V is the potential difference, and so that is equal to charge into potential. And charge into potential, that is called as kinetic energy. And substitute this value there. Therefore, lambda is equal to h by under root 2m q into v. 2m q into v. If charged particle is in moment. So, my dear boys, this formula, this one, all are very, very important towards your objective side. All are very, very important towards this objective side. This equation is called, this is the division and German modified formula. This formula is called as division. SSON. Division and German modified formula, that is de Broglie's modified formula in terms of charge and potential difference. In terms of charge and potential difference, these are the de Broglie wave concept based concepts. Very, very important. So see here, as mass is more, wavelength is less. Be careful. As the mass of the particle increases, wave properties decreases. Wave properties decreases. As the momentum of the particle increases, wave properties decreases. Wave properties decreases. Sometimes this m, mass of the particle, is indicated, is taken as reduced mass. Sorry, m is nothing but m is also taken as relative mass, also sometimes used. Relative mass. That relative mass m dash is equal to m by 1 minus v by c whole square under root n. So this is the formula used to calculate relative mass of the material. That is Einstein's relative mass theory, special theory of relativity. Based on Einstein's special theory of relativity, relative mass is calculated like this. The derivation will you will solve in your physics classes. Please wait up to that. So that is Einstein's mass energy relation. That is special theory of relativity. The relative mass is calculated by using this formula. V is the velocity of light, velocity of the particle, and c is the velocity of light. By using that, relative mass is used. That relative mass may also use the here. So this is all about your de Broglie's wave equation. Now this de Broglie theory supports Bohr's theory. This de Broglie theory supports Bohr's theory. How is this? That there are certain relations for this lambda value for electron, proton, neutron, and also some that is alpha particles, some gaseous particles. How to calculate this lambda value for different species? Just a formula, please note down. So see here. De Broglie's wavelength lambda for different particles. De Broglie's wavelength for different particles. So what are those values? See here. So these are the fixed values in it. So try to memorize these values. So for electron, lambda is equal to, by substituting all those values, 12.27 by root V, and V means potential difference, and root V. So V means voltage, and V is nothing but voltage. So in angstroms, in angstrom, it is for electron. Next, for proton, lambda is equal to, try to memorize these values. That's enough. Me too. 0.286 root to V, and V also voltage in angstroms. Next, third one. For alpha particle, lambda is equal to 0.101 into root V, which is also in angstroms. Okay. So in all these cases, V is equal to accelerating potential of particle. Potential of particle. In all these cases, acceleration potential of the particle is taken as Vn, that is in voltage. All these are charged species, charged particles. All these are charged particles. Now, for neutrons, that is not chargeless particle anymore. For neutrons, so charge 1 Q into V are applicable. For charged particles, Q into V are applicable. That is H by under root 2m Ke. That is Ke means QV is applicable. Now it is for neutrons, lambda is equal to, we use the formula H by under root 2m Ke. 2m Ke. Now, after substituting, there is 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 to mass of proneutron. After final calculation, it is 0.286 by root Ke, which is in kinetic energy, which is in electron volts. Kinetic energy is in electron volts. That is, lambda is in angstroms. So, my dear boys, for all these cases, lambda is equal to under root H by under root 2m QV is the used formula. So H Planck's constant, 2m mass of that particle, Q is the charge of that particle. We know the charges of each and every particle. So after substituting, remaining V is there in all cases. But here chargeless particle, that is why Q is not possible. That is why kinetic energy itself is used. Kinetic energy itself is used. Next, for gas molecules. Next one, for gas molecules. For gas molecules, the formula is, that is, here V, velocity is equal to U RMS is used. Velocity is used as U RMS. Therefore, lambda is equal to H by M U RMS. It is the formula. We know URMS formula, that is equal to H by M into URMS under root 3 KT by M, and RMS velocity 3 RT by M, like that. That is for n mole, 1 mole particles, and but 1 particle 3 KT. K is the, here K is equal to Boltzmann constant. Here K is equal to Boltzmann constant. That is used, right? So after readjustment, that is equal to lambda is equal to H by under root 3 mkt. K is equal to Boltzmann constant. It is for gas molecules. It is for gas molecules. So these are the different formulae. So number of times asked bits any problems to calculations are all asked in this way. So these are different conditions. So particularly we use. So right now I am going to stop this concept here. So tomorrow, how this de Broglie supports Bohr's theory? What are the different conditions in Bohr's theory, that is de Broglie's theory, and problems based on this de Broglie's theory? Tomorrow I will continue. So right now I am going to stop this class right now here. So thank you, my dear boys. I think most of the students understood well.